is presented by Miller Lite.
And there we are. Welcome to ESPN News, everybody, alongside Mike Yam, of course, ESPN NFL analyst Antonio Pierce. I am Jonathan Coachman. Plenty more on Jimmy Johnson coming up later in the show. We always seem to scratch our head on what JJ can do on the track, also what Peyton Manning and Tom Brady can do on the football field.
You know, Coach, you're talking about two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and certainly two of the most winningest teams in the last decade when you talk about the Patriots, not to mention the Indianapolis Colts and what they are capable of doing. Some big wins over the years and some big games between those two guys. First quarter, no score. Patriots off of a turnover from Peyton Manning. A lot of time here, Tom Brady to Wes Welker. You can't give him free possessions like that.
No, you can't. Look, you see the dart. You see the speed on that ball and like a tight spiral. That's what makes them elite quarterbacks.
Well, second quarter here, Brady again. You talk about the darts. Aaron Hernandez, another touchdown for the tight ends.
You know, those tight ends, both of them done a great job as far as picking up the slack in the deep passing game.
Well, you know something's going to happen. The run's going to come from Peyton and the Colts, and there it is. Manning off the play action, cuts that lead to now 14-7 for New England. And here we go again. Manning to Reggie Wayne for the touchdown. Well, good, a ball game here at the half, 21-14. Third quarter, guess who? Danny Woodhead. All of a sudden, the Patriots have a running game.
Yeah, I bet you the Jets say, wow, why did we make that mistake and letting that guy go? Because all he's done since he's been with the Patriots is make play after play after play.
Well, the Patriots rolling up 28-14 after that touchdown. Fourth quarter, Manning fakes the handoff. Blair White in the end zone, 18-yard touchdown. Only 2 TD grabs for Indy. He had 1 in his career prior to the game. Less than 40 seconds left here. Manning gets picked off, and this is a common theme for him in this football game.
You know, I tell you what, Belichick and that defense, when they're in Foxborough, playing against Peyton Manning in offense, they always seem to have his number, especially making picks late in the game.
Well, Manning, 4 touchdowns in the loss, also picked 3 times, a season high for both interceptions and touchdowns, and the second time he was ever picked off at least 3 times in a game, he threw at least 4 TDs. Tom Brady, obviously a machine in this one. Only 6 incompletions in the game, 25 passing attempts. We heard from him when the game was over.
It was great. It'd been a lot sweeter if we'd have done something there in the fourth quarter to help our defense. But you know, you play these guys. We knew it was going to come down to the end. As always, we started fast. You know, wish we would have executed a little bit better there in the second half. But anytime you play these guys, you gotta play to the end, and that's what it came down to.
How important was it to get the ball out of there quickly with Freeney and Mathis?
It's always important. I mean, I think those guys too are game-changing type players. So that's always a part of the thought process. They made some plays. Our guys did a great job of blocking them, and that's what it takes against them.
Tom, what was the difference in the fourth quarter?
Couldn't convert a couple third downs. I think that's what happened. We had a third down in the red area. That could have, we didn't convert, and we had a third down on our sideline. I threw a D on, we couldn't convert, and we had one at the end that we couldn't convert. So.
Did they change any looks or anything defensively?
No.
Coverage-wise?
No.
Did you have a feeling of deja vu from last year at all? I mean, after what happened last year?
Well, we put ourselves in that situation at the end. I mean, I think that's, I'm sitting on their sideline saying, we did it to ourselves. If they kick the field goal there, if they score a touchdown, we got to go out there for a 2-minute drive. If they kick the field goal, it's going to overtime. That's what I was thinking. So, you can't, you just say, okay, well, this is the situation. Let's go out there and try to get it done. But our defense came up with a big play. It was a great catch by James. It was unbelievable.
It's funny, coming sometimes in the same style points that we have. Right now, it seems that you get a little frustration that you guys weren't able to close it out.
Yeah. Sure. Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, the fourth quarter, it's, we had an opportunity to go up, 3 touchdowns on them, and then we got, a couple other third downs that I wish we'd have converted. But, got to give them credit. They were tough on those plays, and they were tough on the route on Dion there on the sideline. I was looking for a call, but didn't get it.
Does it overshadow the effectiveness of the first half?
All right, breaking news for you. Tom Brady, pretty good. He's now won 25 straight regular season home games as a starter dating back to 2006. The only player in the league history with a streak as long as Brett Favre. And Favre, by the way, did lead his Packers to a 25 straight wins at home from 95 to 98. Brady, by the way, can pass Favre's streak in Week 13 when the Patriots host the Jets in a division battle. We go from one good quarterback to another. Here's Peyton Manning.
I don't think so. I certainly didn't get everything on the throw that I wanted. Had the matchup we wanted. Want to take a shot, take a shot at the end zone, and just did not. I can't tell the reason. Just did not get everything I wanted on the throw.
Which matchup did you feel like you had? I haven't seen the replay yet, but which matchup were you looking at?
So, just Pierre one-on-one on McCourty versus Prescott.
You guys feel like there were some issues there today?
I don't think so. I made, a poor decision on the one down the right sideline. Pierre ran the right. Kind of just made the wrong read, wrong decision, and then same on another in route. I think I'm sure that's what you're talking about on an in route. Pierre did the right thing, and New England was moving their coverages. They were really mixing them up, moving around. So I had a couple of misreads on the coverages. So it wasn't anything on Pierre, that's for sure. Pierre made a couple of big, huge plays there in the second half.
Flashbacks to last year, 31-14.
Certainly felt like it, yeah. Certainly felt like it, and I'm just sick about not extending the game. It's just no excuse whether just not to extend the game. Field goal, certainly we were going for the win. We had some time, had some timeouts, and felt like we had a good play called. Just a poor throw, and it's just really sickening.
Is any of this, and you go back to the game a couple weeks ago at Philly, where you guys also had a chance at the end, is any of this related to the injury problems you've had and the practice work and things to do to prepare?
You talking about just the game or
the 2-minute drill at the end of the game. This one, you go back to the Philly game. I'm just wondering, is there anything in your preparation that's lacking or?
As far as the 2-minute drive, I really wouldn't say so. I think you'd have to say we were in 2-minute drive, the whole fourth quarter. I think you had to say we did pretty good up until that last play. We scored, had a chance to score 3 touchdowns in 7 minutes. So I would argue your point there. I think certainly some of the guys that are not playing are part of the reason that we're having to come from behind, because we're not doing, enough good things in the first 3 quarters. But you had 2 chances to win both of those games, didn't get it done. No excuses. You have the opportunity to do it, and you don't do it, and it's disappointing.
All right, well, Peyton Manning loses to the Patriots for only the second time in his last 6 regular season games against them. The number's not that bad comparing this one to the last 5, but the key stat, those 3 picks, the most he's thrown against New England in a regular season game since 2001. All right, Antonio, when you look at Peyton Manning's performance, a lot of credit obviously has to go to New England's defense, but why is it Peyton sometimes struggles in these games against the Patriots?
I think you heard it in his presser. He gave credit to the New England defense and said, those guys did a great job as far as disguising their coverages. And you got to remember, Peyton Manning is a guy who looks at everything. He does all the pre-snap reads, and that's what he kind of relies on. And if you do a good job as far as mixing it up, and Belichick, obviously, and that young secondary and defense did a good job of mixing it up, not actually showing their hand right away, not letting Peyton Manning put his offense in the best position.
This is a Colts team that's still battling, still at the top of the division, tied with the Jaguars, by the way, at 6-4, which is a little odd.
You could hardly say that.
I mean, it's almost weird to come off the tongue when you talk about Jacksonville in the season that they've had. But when you look at the Colts, a lot has been made of some of these injuries. Are they starting to catch up with this?
No, they are. They are. Joseph Adai, that's a big one. I think that's the key one, because that's your running back, and he really was setting the tone for them, especially early. Think about the game against the New York Giants and the success that they had running the ball. They have not had that kind of success running the ball in a long time. It's kind of running back by committee with that group, and there's only so much Peyton Manning can do. And yes, he is almost like Superman. He can do it all by himself, but you do need a running game to balance that offense.
Certainly incredible when you consider what they've been able to accomplish so far this season, despite the fact that guys like Joseph Adai are banged up. Mike Hart, their backup running back. Donald Brown's done a pretty good job, but this is still not that potent.
No, it's not there. It's not. You got to have all your pieces in, and it's tough enough in this National Football League to win, especially when you start replacing pieces here and there.
All right, when we come back here on ESPN News, we're still going to talk AFC, but the other team in the AFC East, the Jets, they're making a habit of winning games late and often. We'll talk Jets when we come back. Also, in Pittsburgh today, Oakland looking for a fifth straight win. That didn't happen. We'll discuss a lot of controversy going down in the Steel City.
Hey, NHL fans, ESPN America. It's time to get online and choose our live game on November 24th. Kings versus Canadians, Stars versus Senators, or Rangers versus Lightning. It's viewer's choice, and it's all up to you. Now at ESPNAmerica.com.
What are you doing? Like, what do you mean?
What's going on, guys?
Josh, what's up, man?
Excuse me. What's up with him?
A couple of those home run derby balls you hit?
Yeah.
They were his cousins.
Sports Center, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Indianapolis Colts. Reggie with a great catch! Touchdown here, Garcon. Fifth touchdown throw for Peyton Manning. This for Collie, got it! What a run by the rookie!
Capping off with a championship.
Monday Night Football America. In Week 11, it's an AFC West Division Showdown. The Denver Broncos head to the left coast to tangle with Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers. Coverage starts at 0100 CET with Monday NFL Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Is presented by the Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness.
A huge AFC West matchup, Monday Night Football. San Diego Chargers making their usual second half of the season run. Host the Denver Broncos. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. ESPN Monday NFL Countdown. All right, AP, the Yammer, Jonathan Coachman back here with you on ESPN News. The Jets, Mark Sanchez, the last 2 weeks, they have won games late. Today, Arian Foster, a late touchdown, but this would be reviewed, Antonio.
Like every other touchdown, every week, you don't know these rules. These rules need to get clarified a little bit better, not only for the players, but for us looking at it.
They're saying the ball did cross the goal line. So now, look at the clock, 20 seconds, Sanchez. Braylon Edwards, somehow he gets open, and he's out of bounds inside the 10.
I can't understand that. I can't even try to explain that. When you know a team needs a touchdown to win a game, you give up a deep pass first play.
And then Santonio Holmes. A perfect pass from Sanchez for the second week in a row. Holmes, your hero, 7 catches, 126, 2 touchdowns on the day. Jets win 30-27 in dramatic fashion. The Jets improved to 5-0 all-time against the Texans. Houston has now lost 4 straight, including back-to-back games in which the winning touchdown pass came in the final 10 seconds of regulation. Not an ideal way to keep winning, but the Jets will certainly take it.
Obviously, we'd like to be in a situation where we can, win these games a little easier than we have. But again, we keep finding ways to win, and that's what championships teams do. And again, if I have to apologize for it every week from here on out, I will all the way to the Super Bowl.
you know, we're cutting it awfully close. I don't think anybody has any fingernails left if they're a Jets fan.
I kind of licked my lips. You know, I looked out at Brad, and I kind of knew this play was something that we had been working on all week in practice, trying to make it work against our defense. And it just popped open so clean for me, you know, coming out. I knew the defender would try to jump or stripe and hit my hands down, but I just, you know, gave him a little bit so that he wouldn't see my hands come up at the last minute and just catch the ball in the back of the end zone. I definitely had to stop and take a mental picture of it, that it just happened again.
I'm not sure we needed to know he was licking his lips before the play, but, you know. All right, the Jets, they have kept things close throughout this season with their last 4 wins, all coming by 6 points or less. In fact, in 3 of those 4 wins, the Jets came back from fourth-quarter deficits, defeating the Lions in overtime despite trailing by 10, the Texans today despite trailing with under a minute left, and the Broncos after trailing with less than 4 minutes to go. So, Antonio, I'll ask you this. Those 3 comebacks in very difficult situations. In your opinion, how good is Mark Sanchez? We welcome in all the folks watching on ESPN International. Welcome to ESPN News. Antonio Pierce, Mike Yam, Jonathan Coachman. We're discussing the Jets-Texans big win by New York today. How impressed were you and have you been with the play of Mark Sanchez?
Extremely, and I'll tell you why. Because we all know last year the Jets' success was running the ball. Today they had no success running the ball. They relied on the young quarterback, Mark Sanchez, to make all the plays. And I'm not going to lie. I was the guy who questioned, could he actually do this? Not just once, but week in, week out. And for the last 3 to 4 weeks, he has been able to do it, and he's found his favorite target, Holmes. Once this guy's been eligible to play from that suspension, big plays left and right. That's the reason why they're being able to come back in the fourth quarter and in overtime games.
Do they have the right attitude that in games over Detroit, team they should beat, Cleveland, playing better, but team they should beat, and the Texans, who are sliding,
football's always played 60 minutes. You'll love to end the game in about 50 minutes if you could, but you're still going to have 10 minutes left over. In the National Football League, we watch it week in and week out. Say, man, how did the Giants lose to the Dallas Cowboys? Well, that's not the case with the Jets. They're handling their business. Now, if it's taken 60 minutes, 65, or even the week before, almost all the way into overtime and a tie ball game, they're getting the job done, and that's a credit to Rex Ryan and that coaching staff.
All right, so the Jets win. The Patriots win at home. Last week, the Patriots went to Pittsburgh and laid it on the Steelers. So all week, people question, how good is that Steelers defense? They come out today. Oakland comes to Pittsburgh, a 4-game winning streak, and they just put a beat down on the Oakland Raiders.
No, they did. And and again, that goes back to a team that has veteran leadership, a quality coach that goes in and he knows how to prepare the guys throughout the week and motivate his players. So you know what? Look what happened last week. Do not let it happen again.
So Big Ben throws for 275, 3 scores, also runs for a career-high 55 yards on the ground. The Steelers stay tied with the Ravens atop the AFC North at 7-3. Now, a key play in this game, after a Steelers touchdown, Big Ben apparently yelled something at Richard Seymour. He turned around, punched him in the face. Seymour tossed from the game. Afterward, this was discussed by the Steelers.
It's not something to dwell on a negative of a game. I'm just going to it is what it is. I wasn't expecting that from him, but, you know, we move on.
Did you say anything to him?
Just let's get ready for the extra point.
I know you have a lot of respect for him. Were you surprised?
Absolutely. Yeah, it kind of blew my mind.
You know, I hadn't seen a quarterback get punched since I've been in this league after a play like that. You know, it was unfortunate. Man, I got big-time respect for Richard Seymour, the football player. That guy's got an 11-year resume that's pretty impressive, and he's a professional. It got away from us all today. It was unfortunate, but I'm not going to let that dominate our thought. We made plays today. Of course, we need to look at some of the things that happened from a penalty standpoint in the game. But just in general, I thought that the game got away from everyone involved, both teams, and, you know, it was a shame.
Very diplomatic by Mike Tomlin in his postgame press conference. Now, the Raiders' high-powered offense, well, that came to a screeching halt against Pittsburgh today. Oakland, which entered scoring more than 26 points per game, was held to a season-low 3. The Raiders were second in the NFL in rushing going into today's game, but were held 100 yards below their average. Number 1 ranked rushing defense.
You know, you talk about defense, about the AFC. Well, how about the Ravens taking on the Panthers? Fourth quarter here, Carolina down. Brian St. Pierre, yeah, he's the quarterback. They just picked him up. intercepted by Ed Reed, who runs it, and then show me the pitch. DeJuan Landry takes it. Antonio, I know you love this.
You know, you got to love when defensive players turn into offensive players once they get the ball. And you know who's the best at that? Ed Reed, the Hawk. Because when that ball's in the air, he knows how to find it.
Well, one of the other best guys in the NFL in terms of defense, Ray Lewis. Next possession for Carolina. Are you kidding me? The Ravens tie a season high in points. They return 2 interceptions for touchdowns in an 11-second span. In the fourth quarter alone, Carolina has now dropped 4 straight, off to its third 1-9 start in team history. All right, so Antonio, we showed everyone the Steelers. We have the Ravens, both those teams at 7-3. The Colts in the mix. We showed you the Jets, not to mention the Patriots. There's a lot of talented teams in that conference. Who's the best?
I'm going to have to go with the New England Patriots. You're talking about right now how they're playing. Belichick has that young defense playing well after a couple weeks ago being embarrassed by the Cleveland Browns. They bounced back. They got Tom Brady throwing to whoever. Doesn't matter. As long as the guy got some jerseys, some pads on, he's going to go out there and make them look good. With Belichick at the rim as the head coach, Brady the quarterback, that's the team I have in the AFC.
Have the top teams, when you talk about the Patriots, Colts, Jet, have they really, or do teams like the Titans, the teams that are around 5-5, still have a shot to contend?
Well, I think the Patriots and the Jets are starting to make that gap a little bit wider from everybody else. And the reason I say that is because how they win games. They go about it, their formula. If it doesn't work one way, they adapt to it. And in December and January, you have to adapt because teams now, they have 2 months worth of film on you, studying you. They're taking away all your tendencies. The guys who can adapt and make adjustments are the team that's going to go further in the month of December.
All right, listen up, America. It's Sunday night, and that means football night right here when the NFL and NBC collide. Buckle up for an NFC East showdown in the city of brotherly love. Giants, Eagles. Let's get it.